The teacher stood on the stage, giving her lecture. Bukso suddenly blew her a flying kiss. For a moment, her heart skipped a beat. She froze, flustered and shy, completely caught off guard by his boldness. Bukso was 27 years old, yet still in high school, known as a bit of a social misfit. 9 years ago, he and his teacher, Sun, had been classmates. Back then, Bukso was the worst student in school, a complete academic disaster. But somehow, he was still the heartthrob every girl secretly admired. Even junior students confessed to him. Sun, on the other hand, was everything he wasn't: beautiful, brilliant, and always at the top of the class. To improve the students' grades, their homeroom teacher introduced a study buddy system, promising full marks to the pair that improved the most. Naturally, the top student, Sun, was paired with Bukso, the hopeless one. Tutoring him was a nightmare, but Sun's determination to win pushed her forward. Yet Bukso betrayed her effort every single time. Whenever she searched for him, he was either sleeping, skipping, or busy doing nothing. Finally, Sun snapped. She dragged Bukso to the rooftop, furious. With strength that surprised him, she shoved him against the wire fence and scolded him harshly, calling him a useless dreamer wasting everyone's time. But as she yelled, Bukso couldn't hear her words anymore. He was lost in her face, her fierce eyes, the way her hair caught the sunlight. In that moment, he fell for her completely. Though Bukso hated studying, he wasn't a coward. When he saw a classmate getting bullied one day, he stepped in to help and ended up twisting his ankle. Watching this from the rooftop, Sun felt her anger melt into admiration. Later, during gym class, Sun carried the injured Bukso to the school clinic. Embarrassed to be carried by a girl, he still couldn't help falling deeper for her strength and kindness. Determined to win her heart, Bukso promised to change. He asked Sun to help him study seriously this time. Seeing his sincerity, Sun agreed, and for the first time they began to work together. Bukso studied hard, and Sun patiently guided him. When exam results were announced, Bukso rushed to find her, only to see her asleep at her desk. He quietly shielded her face from the sunlight with his hand. As she woke, their eyes met, soft, quiet, and full of unspoken feelings. Bukso's hand lingered near her cheek. The moment was gentle and warm. Soon after, Bukso took Sun out on his bike, holding her carefully as they rode under the open sky. For him, it felt like winning the world. He had finally captured his goddess's heart. That was 9 years ago. The charming troublemaker Bukso began his journey from failure to success, all because of the girl he loved. When he proudly showed Sun his first passing exam score, she was deeply moved. Bukso told her she should become a teacher someday, and she smiled, believing in his dream. The next day, the homeroom teacher praised Bukso publicly, but didn't give him any reward. So Sun made one herself, a handmade certificate to honor him. Then, a new student named Zihao transferred into their class. Over time, he and Bukso became close friends, but soon, Zihao also fell for Sun. To ruin them, Zihao exposed one of Sun's personal secrets to the class, making her the target of ridicule. When Sun confronted him, he acted innocent and blamed Bukso instead. Sun didn't believe it at first. She trusted Bukso, but when rumors spread further, doubt crept in. Bukso, furious, confronted Zihao. As Bukso turned to leave, Zihao suddenly pretended to jump off the building. Bukso didn't fall for the act, until Zihao actually did it. Desperate, Bukso grabbed his tie, trying to pull him back, but Zihao twisted his wrist away and fell. Despite Bukso's efforts, tragedy struck. Sun arrived just in time to witness everything. Later, the school reported that Zihao had regained consciousness, but he accused Bukso of pushing him. Even worse, Sun confirmed his claim to the police. Bukso confronted her in disbelief, but she said nothing, and just like that, he was expelled. Their story ended in heartbreak. 9 years passed. One day, while working, he got caught up in a strange drowning incident. A woman screamed for help, begging him to save someone. Bukso refused at first. He didn't take unpaid jobs, but when she insisted, he jumped in anyway. When he pulled the drowning person out of the river, he froze. It was Sun. Completely stunned, Bukso couldn't understand why she'd be involved in something like this. He quietly followed her to the hospital, where he learned from a student named Youngaming that Sun had jumped in only to teach him a lesson about life after his suicide attempt went wrong. Later, the news spread everywhere. Bukso was hailed as a hero for saving lives. The mayor even awarded him the title of Outstanding Citizen of Bravery. Meanwhile, the school was in chaos. Angry parents demanded it be shut down. During a tense meeting, the chairman's son proposed an idea: bring Bukso back to school as a PR move, to restore the school's image. The principal contacted Bukso's former homeroom teacher, asking him to convince Bukso to return to school, but Bukso's mother was firmly against it. Meanwhile, Zihao met with Sun, asking her to persuade Bukso to come back. The moment his name was mentioned, Sun froze. Her first instinct was to leave, but the pressure around her left no room to refuse. What no one expected was that Bukso, now working undercover nearby as part of his odd-job business, overheard everything. He couldn't understand why, after all these years, Zihao still wouldn't leave him alone. But deep inside, for the sake of clearing his name and because of Sun, he finally agreed to return to school. Chairman Zihao created a special wildflower class for students who struggled academically. Naturally, Bukso, once the lowest-ranked student in his year, was placed in that class. In front of everyone, it was announced that Sun had been promoted to a full-time teacher. The vice principal even appointed her as the wildflower class's new homeroom teacher. When she saw Bukso's name on the roster, she clenched her teeth in frustration, but couldn't refuse due to the board's insistence. That day, a group of bullies picked on a quiet student named Juman. Furious, Juman threw trash on the floor and was punched in the face. Just as the bully raised his fist again, Bukso stepped in and stopped him. The head of student affairs rushed over and dispersed the crowd. But in the chaos, another student, Youngaming, broke down emotionally and locked himself inside a glass room. Teachers tried calming him, but he only grew more distraught. The commotion reached Zihao. He hurried over just in time to see Bukso grab a chair and smash through the glass door, shattering it completely as he rushed to comfort the boy. The wealthy parents gasped in fear at his violent act and demanded his immediate expulsion. Later, back in class, students anxiously asked if Bukso would be expelled. Even Bukso himself wanted to know. Sun asked if he thought what he did was right. Without hesitation, Bukso said yes, he was saving someone in danger. He declared that a glass room dividing students by grades should never have existed in the first place. Every student deserved to be treated equally, not separated by academic ranks. To everyone's surprise, she defended Bukso during the disciplinary hearing. She argued that while he had damaged school property, it wasn't serious enough for expulsion. The board members, however, refused to listen. They accused her of protecting a dangerous troublemaker. But Sun stood firm and promised that if Bukso ever made another mistake, she would personally take full responsibility. Soon after, Bukso's playful side returned. When Sun walked by, he dropped a folded note on the floor. She picked it up and continued teaching, pretending not to notice. But when she opened it later, a faint smile appeared on her face. Despite the chaos, Sun's guarantee saved him. The board agreed to let him stay. One day, Sun realized that a student named Sheng Yu hadn't attended class for 3 days and couldn't be reached. From classmates, she learned the girl was working at a bar to support her family. Concerned, Sun went there alone and unexpectedly ran into Bukso. Together, they saw Sheng Yu arguing with the bar owner over unpaid wages. Sun scolded the man for exploiting a student. The owner, furious, pushed her hard. Bukso caught her just in time, holding her close. The man shoved again, sending them stumbling. Broken glass cut Bukso's face, but he used the injury to threaten legal action, forcing the owner to pay what he owed. Sheng Yu was deeply moved by Bukso's courage. As they left, Sun's hand lingered on his, showing her quiet concern before she pulled away, reminding him to be careful. Later that night, Sun sat alone in a convenience store, drinking away her thoughts. Her mind replayed the moment when Bukso had caught her. She murmured to herself, lost in emotion, until the store clerk took pity and dialed Bukso's number for her, though he didn't answer. That's when Zihao appeared and found Sun completely drunk. On the way home, she sprawled across his car hood, and strangely, he lay down beside her. In that moment, the air between them shifted, and his feelings for her turned uncertain once again. Unknown to them, Bukso had come searching, thinking she had called because something was wrong. What he saw instead shattered him. The next day, Bukso arrived at the gym to complete his school service. There, he saw Zihao practicing fencing. Overwhelmed with anger, he started mocking him, his words filled with bitterness. A fight nearly broke out. But Sun walked in at that moment and misunderstood everything. She thought he was attacking Zihao again and scolded him harshly. Bukso's heart sank. Once again, Sun believed the worst of him. Bukso stood frozen, watching the same heartbreak from 9 years ago repeat itself. He began to question everything. Maybe coming back to school had been a mistake after all. Though Jaiming tried his best to stand up for Bukso, the label of juvenile delinquent stuck. As Dongying comforted Jaiming, another student made a nasty remark about Bukso, stirring even more chaos. Bukso's name echoed through the hall, again and again. Sun nearly felt overwhelmed with emotion. After 9 years, once they reconciled, Bukso's sleep became sweet, his love-struck smile radiating as he returned to campus full of energy. Even simple moments, like eating, became love-struck performances. When Sun happily arrived in class, she was puzzled not to see Bukso. She blushed like a young girl, heart racing. That night, Bukso visited her home with a lavish midnight meal, but her stubborn nature made her refuse. He left the food at her door, and she couldn't resist sneaking it inside later when no one was looking. Bukso had seen it all from afar. Finally, Bukso decided to confess officially. During class, he passed her a note. Sun pretended to find it childish, but she showed up anyway. Bukso quickly appeared in front of her, confessing his love with all his heart. He pulled out a ring he had prepared 9 years ago. Bukso beamed with joy and presented her with 100 roses. They went on a happy street date, only to unexpectedly run into some of their students. Sun quickly pulled Bukso behind her, panicking, but he found it thrilling. What they didn't know was someone had been following them. Ever since Sun had rejected him, he hadn't given up. He approached her again, declaring his love, but Sun firmly rejected him, insisting she only loved Bukso. 9 years ago, your lies tore us apart, she said. You hurt Bukso deeply. I will protect him for the rest of my life. Enraged, Zihao threatened her. I'll make things hard for you. Zihao stormed home, unaware that his mother had already sensed everything. She warned him not to get emotional over an ordinary teacher, but he lashed back, telling her to stay out of it. Don't touch me. If you do, I'll destroy everything myself. Then, the spoiled heir drank a spoonful of a ballon soup, only to start vomiting. He had a severe shellfish allergy. Earlier, his mother had carefully prepared the seafood for him, but he hadn't eaten it immediately. Feeling cornered, he consumed it anyway and suffered the consequences. His mother's strict, perfectionist upbringing had drilled obedience into him, but she didn't realize her twisted love would harm his future. After Zihao's confession and rejection, his mother planned to intervene, but Zihao finally stood up to her. To break up Sun and Bukso, he even reinstated Jin Minghao. Sun was deeply uneasy. Years ago, she had secretly given Jin Minghao 50 million to secure her promotion. Bukso confronted Zihao. 9 years ago, you tore Sun and me apart. No matter what tricks you try now, you can't stop us from loving each other. Just because you're the chairman's son doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. That evening, Sun invited Bukso to dinner and told him Zihao had professed his love again. She feared he would use Jin Minghao to create more trouble. Bukso offered to withdraw from school, but Sun strongly opposed it. Later, when Sun took the drunk Bukso home, she entered his house and confessed their relationship to his mother. Instead of anger, Bukso's mother felt heartache for what Sun had endured these past 9 years. Amid the chaos, Sun stayed at Bukso's house overnight. The next morning, with his hair still messy, Bukso rushed out and was surprised to see Sun at the breakfast table with his family, sharing a warm, sweet moment. Even his family felt the joyful energy. But later that evening, while walking Sun home, Bukso shamelessly flirted, trying to collect his reward, teasing her for a small hand-holding promise. When they finally lay down, his hands couldn't stay still. His antics didn't end there. He pretended to be asleep, leaving Sun flustered and frustrated. This truly was a pair lost in love. In class, Bukso kept glancing at Sun with a blissful smile. No secret can stay hidden forever. One day, when Bukso went to the office to talk privately with Sun about their relationship, things got unexpectedly intimate. The door suddenly burst open, startling them. Thankfully, it was just their classmate Shang Yu. Their panic subsided, but their secret was exposed. Shang Yu, stunned, left, but Bukso chased after him, nervously asking what he had seen. Amused by Bukso's anxiety, Shang Yu teased him. Later, Sun scolded Bukso for getting too close to her in the office. To ease her nerves, Bukso decided to bribe Shang Yu. The next day, Bukso stormed into the classroom, kicked Shang Yu's chair, and dragged him to the snack shop. Shang Yu learned Bukso was buying his silence and took full advantage, ordering tons of snacks. Bukso had no choice but to pay. That afternoon, Sun worried about the previous night, but Bukso reassured her. Shang Yu had promised to keep their secret. That evening, they went to the movies. Both seemed deep in thought during the film. Afterwards, Sun took Bukso to visit her grandmother and revealed their relationship. Her grandmother warmly told Bukso to take good care of Sun, and seeing how much he loved her, blessed them both. Her approval made Sun overjoyed, and loved Bukso even more deeply. As Bukso walked Sun home, neither wanted to say goodbye. Just as he turned to leave, Sun softly asked, "When did you become someone who gives up so easily?" Overwhelmed by sudden happiness, Bukso couldn't help but smile. Suddenly, we notice, the class teacher who had been so happy while lecturing now looked burdened and stressed. The night before, Sun had proposed a temporary breakup, asking to wait until graduation before resuming their relationship. Bukso didn't agree, but Sun wanted him to see the bigger picture, saying everyone would feel reassured once he graduated properly. Heartbroken, Bukso reluctantly accepted. The real reason behind their second breakup, of course, was Wu Zihao. Determined to separate them, Zihao tried to transfer the entire wildflower class to another school, but teacher Park firmly opposed it. When Park confronted Zihao, he was abruptly fired, devastating Sun. She knew clearly that this was Zihao's way of killing the chicken to scare the monkeys, targeting her and Bukso on purpose. When Bukso saw Sun crying, he asked what had happened and learned about Park's dismissal. Park had been their teacher long ago and always supported their relationship. Bukso, who deeply respected Park, even considered dropping out again, but his teacher firmly refused to let him give up. Taking matters into his own hands, Bukso spent a large sum to recruit Dongying and Jiming to help investigate the school. What they uncovered was shocking. Under the guise of education, the school board had been secretly embezzling funds, over 30 billion won. The administration had also taken bribes and leaked exam answers to students. But without witnesses, the evidence lacked legal force. Sun volunteered to be a witness. Bukso begged her not to get involved, knowing that once she testified, her teaching career would be over. But Sun was resolute. After discovering that wealthy parents were buying test answers, she deliberately altered the answers to expose the corruption. Even though students still got the highest scores, rumors began to swirl because some essays were far too advanced for typical students. Suspicious glances from classmates eventually led to conflicts. One student ran to the rooftop, ashamed that his achievements had come from long-term cheating. Once again, Bukso went to talk him down, telling him it wasn't too late to turn back. Better to repent now than make a mistake he'd regret forever. This time, the tragedy was avoided. Watching from the side, Zihao was filled with guilt as he looked up at the same rooftop from 9 years ago. When Bukso ran into him later, he gently advised, "Don't run away, Zihao. You need to change your life. Don't let yourself regret it again." Bukso's words deeply struck Zihao's heart. In Korea, this high school had been outrageous, using education as a cover for blatant corruption. Even Zihao had secretly accepted bribes and leaked exam papers. Bukso, having gathered all the evidence, recorded a video exposing the school's crimes. Sun, as a witness, openly confessed her own bribe to the public. The video caused a massive social uproar. As more parents demanded answers, the school office descended into chaos, voices overlapping like a boiling pot. At that moment, Zihao's mother, Lin Shijun, couldn't sit still any longer. Ruthless and manipulative, she called an emergency board meeting, stripped Zihao of his chairman position, and appointed herself in his place. She even contacted parliament members to pressure the prosecutor's office to stop investigating the school, but Lin Shijun wasn't done. She launched a smear campaign online, spreading false rumors of an inappropriate teacher-student relationship between Bukso and Sun, trying to distract the public. Although 9 years had passed, the strange looks from classmates still haunted Bukso. This time, however, he had loyal friends by his side, and most importantly, Sun fully believed in him. Justice may be slow, but it never forgets. One day, Lin Shijun received a court summons. Everyone involved in the school's corruption scandal was gathered in one place, presided over by Teacher Park. After being fired, Park had secretly investigated the school's crimes and worked quietly to expose everything. Zihao had finally come to his senses and handed Bukso concrete evidence proving his mother had embezzled and transferred huge sums of money, vowing to help bring her down. During the hearing, everyone testified in unison, exposing Lin's corrupt acts. Bukso also presented additional evidence showing how Lin embezzled funds, misused national taxes, and funded political campaigns with stolen money. Even with the noose tightening around her, Lin refused to admit defeat, accusing Bukso of trying to take revenge for 9 years ago. At that moment, Sun stood up and firmly defended Bukso. She courageously declared her love in front of the media. Zihao also came forward, telling the public the truth. 9 years ago, Zihao had jumped off the building and deliberately framed Bukso, leading to his unjust expulsion. In the end, Lin Shijun was sentenced to prison. She never imagined the person who would ultimately put her behind bars was her own son. After all the storms, Bukso and Sun finally found happiness, walking hand in hand into a bright future. And that's a wrap on this whirlwind of love, courage, and justice. Bukso and Sun finally find their happily ever after, showing that loyalty, determination, and true love can overcome even the darkest obstacles. If you loved this recap, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any K-drama stories. Drop a comment below. Which moment with Bukso and Sun stole your heart the most?